Okay, so when you picture a scientist, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably someone in a white lab coat, right? Super serious, maybe a little bit dusty, spouting complicated Latin phrases. Well, get ready, because today we are going to completely shatter that image. It turns out, scientists have an absolutely fantastic sense of humor.
Because the truth is, scientists are pretty much just like us. You know, they're full of dad jokes, they binge watch the same shows we do, they definitely get stressed out at work, and they have this amazing and sometimes, let's be honest, very nerdy sense of humor. And believe me, there is no better place to see this in action than in the names they give the species they discover.
Right. You'd think the whole world of scientific naming is just rigid rules and stuffy Latin. But if you look a little closer, hidden inside that formal system are some of the best jokes, the cleverest tributes, and honestly, some of the most emotional stories you'll ever find. And it all comes down to one particular field.
And that field is taxonomy. It's basically the science of naming and classifying all living things. And yeah, sure, taxonomists have to follow certain rules, but those rules leave just enough wiggle room for them to get creative. And oh boy, do they ever get creative.
So let's dive in with my absolute favorite category, the straight-up, unapologetic scientific dad joke. I mean, these are names that were designed for one reason and one reason only, to make other scientists chuckle.
So get this. This is a wasp, discovered back in Australia in 1977. Its official scientific name is aha-ha. No, really, I'm not laughing. That's its actual name. The guy who found it, Howard Ensign Evans, named it that specifically because he knew that when his colleagues had to read his paper out loud, they'd be forced to say aha-ha. It is literally a punchline baked right into a scientific name. You gotta love that.
But the humor isn't always so light and breezy. Sometimes it comes from pure, unfiltered frustration. Let me introduce you to an entomologist named Terry Erwin. He had a problem. A very, very tiny, six-legged problem.
So Erwin was stuck with his absolutely monumental task of classifying hundreds of different beetle species from the genus Agra. And the kicker? They all looked almost exactly the same. So after spending who knows how many hours staring through a microscope, he just channeled all that feeling into his work and officially named one of them aggravation. He didn't even stop there. He named another one Agricadabra. It's just a brilliant reminder that even in science, sometimes you just have to laugh so you don't cry. Okay, so the humor doesn't stop at puns. It moves right into the modern era with pop culture. And this is where we really see that scientists aren't just stuck in dusty labs, they're fans, just like the rest of us.
All right, check this out. In 2011, researchers discovered this absolutely spectacular horsefly. I mean, just look at that impressive golden back end. They thought it was so striking, so glamorous, that only one name would possibly do justice: Scaptia beyonceae. It's a permanent, scientific tribute to the one and only queen bee. This is, without a doubt, the diva of all flies.
But the pop culture shoutouts don't stop with music legends. Oh no. If you happen to be a fan of a certain boy wizard, well, the world of taxonomy has a very special treat for you.
So a team of scientists in India found this tiny little spider with a really peculiar shape. Its abdomen kind of curved over into this distinct point, and it looked exactly like a wizard's hat. Well, they were huge Harry Potter fans, so they saw the resemblance right away and named it Eriovixia Gryffindori, in honor of the sorting hat that once belonged to the great Godric Gryffindor himself.
So far, we've had some silly jokes and some really fun tributes, but the humor you find in taxonomy, well, it isn't always so light. Sometimes it carries a much heavier, much darker message. And the answer to that is a huge, resounding yes, because sometimes a really clever name is the absolute best way to tell a tragic story that, frankly, we all need to hear. This story starts out on the Marquesas Islands in the Pacific. Paleontologists there unearthed the fossilized bones of a parrot species that doesn't exist anymore, and they figured out that it vanished very, very suddenly, right around the time the first humans showed up on its island home.
So the parrot belonged to the genus Vini. The paleontologist who discovered it, David Steadman, came up with a name that is just, wow. It's so poignant and powerful. Vini vidivici. It's this heartbreaking play on Julius Caesar's famous quote, Veni vidi vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. The name tells the parrot's entire story with devastating clarity. Humans came, they saw this beautiful bird, and they conquered it.
all the way into extinction. It's a joke, but it's one with a very, very serious warning.
So, as we've seen, these names are so much more than just boring labels. They're really like these tiny little windows into the minds and hearts of the people behind the science.
Every single name is a small piece of a human story. We can see a scientist's moment of pure frustration, a cleverly planned practical joke, a fan's total admiration, a shared love for a magical world, and even a profound sense of loss for a species that's gone forever.
So, what all this really shows us is that science isn't just about cold, hard facts and Latin classifications. It is a deeply, deeply human thing. And these names are just this powerful reminder that behind every single discovery, there's a person with a story to tell, a sense of humor to share, and their own unique way of looking at the world. And honestly, that's something worth remembering.